You talk about at the end of the day, people come home, they have their nightcap, a big chunk of society goes out there, normal folks, and they do something to unwind, which, is maybe the gateway to using a product, a substance to escape. So what is causing these? I mean, I understand when people are in prison, the desire to escape, to make their, to fill some sort of hole that they have while they're biding their time. But just based on your observations, like what do you see as like the core causes of this? I mean, you see people using in prison, I presume, and then you have the stories of the people that, used and then got into prison. Like, what are you observing there?
Well, that's it. Mike, it's like the old adage. It's not, I haven't committed a crime until I'm caught. So many people, you keep forgetting, I was kind of in the trade out there in the world too, and so much of it is going on out there. They just haven't been prosecuted for anything, and they may never, because, at the end of the day, what do? It's like in Lansing, part of their problem was, and I keep citing this back to the penitentiary, because you knew me out on the streets, Mike, for a few years. I was never a street guy then, and I was one of the people that tended to steer clear. I'd steer away from those guys. But the problem is the street guys are the ones at the core that now are trickling upwards to the upper scale society. And so to answer your question, it's an escape mechanism. It really is. Mike, I've been down that rabbit hole. And I want you to, every drug that I have offered any advice on, I know from personal use, sometimes extreme, sometimes very moderate, sometimes not at all. But I've always tried at the end of it, as weird as it sounds, to try and figure out, because once you start using, you'd be surprised how many good people are going to turn their backs on you. So you have to figure out how to get out of that fucking escapism, that how far down in the burrow you've sunk. You've got to kick, claw, and scream on your own, and not everybody's tough enough mentally or physically with the fortitude to be able to do it. It's so much easier just to collapse, especially when you've got a dozen of your friends saying, don't worry about here, the hair of the dog that bit you. They actually turn the spigot off and climb out and be like, okay, now, why was it? What effects did it cause? And why would I not want to do it? Or why do I want to use it again? And I've seen it. Is at some point in time, I remember hearing stories about in the 60s, and the conspiracy theorists from JFK on up the ladder, but let's start there, how the mob couldn't figure out what to do with Jack Ruby, yada, yada, or the government couldn't figure out what to do. And then we had those problems in the Bay of Pigs. So they turned to the mob, so to speak, to try and help work it out for them. At some point in time, I think that's what's going to happen here, is people are so determined, be it a reality that doesn't exist for them, so they use drugs to create a falsity. And in that construct, it makes it life so much more bearable as well as enjoyable for them, on up to the lines of the people who can't handle the daily pressures of life, so they need an outlet to keep them from cracking. I mean, it's just, I don't think it's ever going to go away.